Hey everyone, sorry for my random head being up at the moment, my tongue being out and I'm talking weird. But here we are, we're here. Hey everyone.
Yeah. Oh, hi. Wow, that's super zoomed in on my face. Cool.
Yeah, I thought it works.
I feel like I should zoom the camera out now, but that would ruin everything.
That would destroy
We'll
everything.
stick with this.
But hey everyone, welcome to episode 5 of season 2. Obviously you've got the lovely Dr. Oculus back, co-hosting. Of course, he'll be on every episode now.
So suck it.
Yeah, so enjoy it. Enjoy it. If you don't, there's a famous saying that is tough titties.
That is a thing.
So hi everyone who's trying to begin their ball 13. There's Netic. Hope you're all doing well.
Hey everybody.
So I think the best place to start is we spoke about last week. We were going to meet in person for the first time.
We did, yeah. All of the English members of the VR Souls were in a room together. It was pretty fun.
It was a big room.
I mean, there was many rooms, but yeah, the biggest room we went in was an entire shopping mall.
Yes.
We got together, had a chat and whatnot, but we also tried out the Ghostbusters thing in the place, and did it have a name? I think it had a name. Somebody will probably tell me.
I can't tell you.
Yeah, it was that memorable. How did you find it as a guest in my town?
I had a nice time.
Yes.
Like I said, I mean, it's been a while since I've been to Sheffield, but my cousins are from Sheffield, so I sort of know parts of it.
Sorry,
but not very. I don't see them often. It's been quite a while since I've seen them. I'm trying to think what the name of the place was, but I'm thinking more of the name of the actual part of the shop of the shopping centre.
So it was called Meadowhall, the place that we went to. For those of you who are initiated, large shopping place in Sheffield. And I'll Google it. It's like Funbox or something. It sounds like a euphemism for something else.
We all had fun in the fun box. Sheffield's fun box.
Fun station. I was close.
Fun station. That just sounds like where you get many women and you pay cash. But anyway, yeah, we went to fun station. It wasn't that type of fun station. What was that? Ghostbusters.
I'm still googling. Hologate VR, that's a thing. Yes, lovely. Let's click this thing. Right, okay. Ghostbusters VR Academy.
VR Academy. I was gonna say Ghostbusters Adventure Academy. So I was close. I was on the right line.
Close, yeah.
So yeah, we had to go on that, which was sort of like stand on the spot. We sort of like stood around each other. There's no like walking on it. It was more like just you're in a crane type thing, weren't you?
A 2 square meter scaffolding to hang base stations and cables and PCs from, and then you just kind of stand there. The game itself is like sectioned off into 4 quarters, so 4 people can do it.
Yeah.
And then you're basically on a very slow moving platform, moving through an area, I guess is probably the best way to describe it. So the 3 of us we took a corner each, and then there was just one empty.
Yeah, and it was split up into different waves. So we got to fight ghostfish, or piranhas,
strange,
which was odd. Yeah.
We were screaming out quotes from the movie because you start off in a sewer of slime, so naturally we were just like, "It's a sewer of slime," and stuff like that. So you get out what you put in, I guess, is what we did. But then, after fighting the piranhas, we were then in a building or something.
Was it a library? And they looked like a big library, and we were capturing ghosts. Surprisingly, we actually did have. Well, you didn't throw the proton packs down; they're already down, weren't they?
Yeah, yeah. I think
Like the
we were
traps, sorry.
wearing them already. Oh
So
yeah,
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 the
yeah,
traps
yeah,
down.
yeah.
Sorry, yeah,
The
my
traps
my
were
brain went there. Yeah, so the traps are already down, and you just basically you had the proton packs on. You had to capture them in your stream, and then drag them, do enough damage
to the
holding them, and drag them down to the traps for that
yeah.
section. And then
It culminates. It all came to a head on a roof.
yep, fighting the
Um,
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man
yeah.
together.
If an interdimensional being asks you if you're a god, you say yes. Because yeah, we were fighting Stay Puft, which was pretty dope. Being face to face with that guy and like the scale of it, because you only kind of see him from the shoulders up, but still,
Yeah.
it was like just super impressive, and it made me really look forward to what End Dreams are gonna do. Hopefully, I'm confident they won't, but hopefully they're not gonna mess it up.
Hopefully, yeah. I'm confident in them. Like I said, I think they've picked a studio that's capable of doing something with it. We've had it with
Big time.
all the stuff they've done in there. I think I've enjoyed every End Dreams game, even just the chill out one where you sat and listened to music on the beach, which came out like early PlayStation VR days.
Which is strange. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
for especially a VR headset as limited as the PSVR one was, yeah, that definitely would have been a thing. I guess they were just finding their own footing. Never, don't think I ever touched that one. Hmm.
Um,
Maybe maybe I did, and it was just that
I think
forgetting.
there's a very small demo of it, but then I think it's quite an expensive one if you're going to buy it outright. I think.
Right. Okay. I should get. I bought a bunch of PSVR games and then packed it away.
Yeah.
Well done, me.
I was going through my PlayStation the other day, and I realised I'd installed a bunch to play before the PSVR 2 came, just to play one more time, and then never ever played them. Like, might as well delete these now because it's all packed away and gone.
Yep.
But anyway, back to the Ghostbusters thing. Like, it was, I enjoyed it. It served its purpose for that type of situation where you're jumping in and having that
I was
quick
trying to
turnaround.
remember how much it costs, and I was the one that paid, and I still don't know. It was about 10p per person or something like that, maybe £15 per person. It was fine for a 5-minute experience, I think.
Yeah, we hit the highs. I mean, these predicted I'd get the highest score, but I basically just got the most kills. I think I finished
Which is
bottom of the board, but got the most kills.
pretty much what we expected, I think,
Yeah,
was you to get the most kills. Um so yeah, that was fine. In the promotional imagery and stuff, they're wearing haptic vests, which I was really looking forward to trying, and then they didn't give us any.
no, they had them hanging on the
Yeah, I
within the
was
setup. They had them hanging within the setup, which was weird. They had like them where the headsets were hanging off. There was also the B haptics like hung over them, but maybe it doesn't use B haptics that game. Maybe.
I mean, why put that in the promotional imagery if they're not rocking, like if you
Mm,
can't wear the vest? It seems odd, but yeah, that was one of the main things I was hoping to take away from it, and I
yeah.
couldn't. So
Uh,
maybe I had very similar thoughts, Paul. Maybe it was just like these guys are a bit chunky, and I can't be bothered to adjust these, so we'll just pretend like they don't exist. I don't know.
uh,
Maybe they were just flat. Maybe they've been used and
yeah.
abused. I don't know.
You'll get to try one at the end of July though. We'll hook you up here.
So yeah, but that was a good time. And then as I say, we had a good long chat.
Yep.
And then we all went our separate ways. But all in all,
Mhm.
fun time, and one that we're hopefully going to repeat soon.
Yep.
Hopefully, there is a bunch of shows coming up in the UK, like EGX with IGN, not EGX, WASD and IGN.
Yeah.
There's EGX coming up. There's a number of different shows in the UK that I totally want to attend. Don't know whether I'm going to have the money or the time, but I do. Hopefully, I will be attending those. So
Mhm. I'll hopefully get
maybe
to
our
attend
paths
one.
will cross once again.
Yeah.
I think there's one in Birmingham real soon. That's not Insomnia. So I know you like to attend the Brummy ones.
Mm.
We'll see. And then we can, the VR meetups are generally quite legendary, not because of the show, but just because it's a bunch of like-minded people sat around drinking and eating food, which is just awesome.
Yep. And since the last show, since the last month, we suddenly just got a spate of VR releases.
Like, what happened? Just so many different things came out. I've honestly lost track at this point. I have a list longer than my arm of stuff I've still yet to play.
Yeah.
And then stuff that I probably won't ever play, and then stuff that I want to play one day when I buy it.
Just what
It's
happened. It's
crazy.
just like everyone chose May to bring stuff out. It just seemed like I think every week there was 1 or 2 releases. I was like, what's going on here? Why the big rush?
Yeah, the big standout one for me, for probably obvious reasons, those of you that have got eyeballs have seen Red Matter 2.
Mm.
Jesus, that's a stunning game. Like,
Yeah.
any Sony should just throw money at not Bad Robot, that's what's his face, Vertical Robot. They should just throw money at them and get them to make a bunch of games. They really, really should, because wow, they've just done magic with it's a Unity game, isn't it?
I believe so.
I think it's Unity, which is even more impressive. Like, you look at that and you think, okay, yeah, UE5, but no, it's
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's a Unity game, which is just insane to me.
It's quite bad because I'd played that on Quest 2 and it looked beautiful on the Quest 2. Like for a standalone game. Played PC and then obviously they put the tweet out saying, but like
Folks, you
4K
want to play this?
textures, foveated rendering,
Yeah.
to get the extra detail.
I think that's the thing. The fact that the PlayStation has eye tracking. I said it before, and I will say it again. That is the next evolution of VR for me,
Yeah.
because it now allows this kind of stuff to happen. And it just, I had no frame of reference like prior versions. I always heard that it's great on the Quest 2. It's even better on the Pico. And then, of course, it exists on PC, and then now PlayStation 5. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, can't carry on. Like, I just have to play this game, and so I played on PS5, and
Yeah.
ow.
Yeah, the PS5 is the best. I've played it on Quest all the way through. Played a bit on PC just to see what it was like because obviously it looks so nice on Quest. And getting it on Oculus, it was cross-buy, so I was like, I'll try the PC one to see what it looks like. And then played it on PlayStation 5, and to me, PlayStation 5 is the best version of it I've played.
That was going to be my question to you. Yeah. Now, is that just because of the facial haptics, or graphically, or just a whole package?
As a whole package, I think it's a bit sharper and got a bit more clarity, but that's probably, like you said, foveated rendering. They've chucked the 4K textures in and managed to quell the performance of that by doing by using the eye tracking foveated rendering to make sure you get the. I think then there's the haptics. I've been a fan of the facial haptics, and this has been one of the best uses of it. Like
Yes.
when you go under the beams on the tram where it's a bit more electrical, because you feel a little vibration. Like that's just
Spoilers. I don't think I've been on a tram yet. I think I was trying to sneakily creep my way over a thing on tram lines.
Oh yes, you were. Yeah, that's why you finished the stream. You were trying to get out of the level.
And I didn't. I failed. I mean, I will try again. There is somewhere in that game that I can leave, and I will find it. My promise to you all. Yeah, I will find my way out of that game, one way or another. But it's good to know that I've at least got the definitive version in the PlayStation. I am super curious about the PC.
Yeah.
So I may have to play that somehow. I have mild plans.
So that was like, I think, the release that sort of took it away. The one that from the ones I've played that impressed me the most, which I can't believe that, and I just didn't want to stop playing it. Humanity.
so I was like, yes, I'm gonna get this because I'm PlayStation Plus, and it's like, no, PlayStation Plus Plus, whatever they call the second tier,
Yeah.
they get it for free. And I'm like, oh well, balls. And then I have a long list of games that I need to play, and so I just never bothered buying it. I could probably bump up my subscription. If I thought there was a reason I would, but at this point in time, I can't
Yeah.
imagine doing it. But you've played Humanity then.
Yeah.
I hear the word lemmings a lot around that game.
It's very much. You're just basically going to place your commands as a dog for humans to follow, which I thought was an interesting take.
So the dogs sit there and lead the humans. So like if it comes up to a ledge and they need to get from one place to another one, the dog's going to be like, ruff, jump, ruff, ruff, jump, jump. And then the humans jump at that point.
Yeah, so you get like set commands per. You get more as you go through. So it'll just start with turning out like an arrow. So you'd press up on the analog and tell the dog to bark, and it'll place a marker saying they're going to walk that way. And when the humans hit that marker, they'll turn and walk that way.
Okay, I kind of dig it's mildly, yeah, very, very kind of lemmingsy by the sounds of things.
Yeah, so like
or Sleepwalker.
It sort of mixes through. You get the different commands, and then you might get a level where you can only use each command once. Or there's levels where you need to place your commands even before starting the level, and things like this.
Totally up my alley. To be fair,
obviously, becoming from enhance, you've got
I was gonna say that's an enhanced game, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
you've got an outstanding soundtrack to go with it.
Right. Okay. That is great to know because the soundtrack to Tetris is still just like the be all and end all definitive way of just like game soundtracks. It's the one I will always go back to because I love Tetris Effect.
So like I said, I started it and I just didn't want to turn it off, and to complete the story mode, because there's a story in it, it's like I'm not good. It's educational, teaching you about society, basically. Yeah, basically.
Sign up for a lesson. Did you play PlayStation or PC?
PlayStation.
Okay.
And the story mode took me 16 hours.
How do you ever sleep? How do you have time for this crap, man? If at best, I would have put like 2 hours into that game by now.
I've got a lucky shift, haven't I, at work? Finish at 2:30 in the afternoon every day, so then don't go to bed till midnight. So I've got a lot of. But yeah, I've got hit the point where it's also got a level creator, and then people can publish your levels, and then you can just go and play their levels.
That's going to give it legs if people actually do it.
I think it will. There's quite a lot of levels already on there, and Enhance have been adding some on there, so there's like they keep adding levels that way as well, which I think so.
I don't think they've ever done DLC for a game, have they?
No.
Nice work.
I think it's like they released, they put loads of. There was quite a few enhanced levels on there. Now they might have stopped now. They might have shot some on just so it adds some on. But it seems like it's busy. The level creating there is very simple to use. It's like Dreams, basically. You just place your blocks and then figure out your puzzle, and so it's easy for people to actually create a level. So hopefully we'll be seeing a lot of stuff on there. So there's 16 hours as well. So throughout all the levels, there's taller humans which are gold, and they're called goldies. You've got to collect so many of them to get through the 7 sequences. And obviously, if you collect all of them, it also gives you cosmetics. So I've turned my humans into teddy bears, stripy teddy bears, and things like that. Rather than you
pretty cool.
Moving humans around.
Ball says in chat that it seems like it was a flat game with VR kind of tagged on.
Yeah.
Is that's a shame if that's
true. Like, I played the PlayStation VR version, and after so long, I just disconnected the Sense controls and used the gamepad because they really haven't done much with the control, like using the Sense controls in much way. So I was like, you might as well just be using the gamepad to it. It's easier to hold and easier to think about.
I mean, the same can be said for Tetris, but Tetris is the kind of game that it kind of doesn't matter. I guess if you were picking up the dogs and plopping them down, there's a very real danger that you might put it at slightly the wrong angle and just like generate frustration. Maybe.
So you've only got control of one dog, and then you've got the pointers, and it's sort of working a square, so you can't place them at like a weird angle. You can have place them forward, backwards, left, or right.
Yeah, I was saying if they had motion control, so you just picked a dog up and plonked it down somewhere, maybe doing it that way, you would potentially flub up the placement. That would generate frustration. So they're like, you know what? Screw it. We just put a grid system in there. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the thought process. I don't know. I don't work there. If anybody from Enhanced, if you want to tell us, please come.
So I probably could have rushed through it very quickly, the story mode, but I decided on my very first playthrough I was collecting all 150 goldies and getting every cosmetic thing unlocked. So it took me 16 hours to figure that out. Some of them took me a while because there's a frustration in some of them. Like, you've only got so many people, so many humans. It's not a constant spawn of them. And you've got to, like, get to a point where you have to give them guns and things to fight the enemies.
There's enemies too?
Yeah, called the others.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically, you can either give people like a lightsaber looking baton thing, or guns, and they all fire different colours, so you see like the sparks as they're hitting each other and stuff, like in there. It looks. I said in my review, it's a very simplistic looking game, but also visually striking, because they've kept everything simple, but the darker backgrounds mixed with the bright coloured like costumes on the clothes on the people. It just gives a really good contrast. But it's definitely worth getting. Like,
what's it retail at? What's the
$24.99?
It's a lot. That is a lot for a puzzle. Although, I mean, if you're getting 16 hours out of it, maybe it is. It's 9 out of 10 on Steam right now from 102 reviews. And retails at $24.99. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Or for £101, you can buy the enhanced complete collection with Tetris Effect and Res and Lumines and more Tetris and more Res and more Lumines. Yeah, okay. 101 quid. Nice.
But yeah, it's a very nice game. I ended my review saying that it should be in everybody's library.
Okay.
Here's a good.
Oh yeah, I like it. It's. As I say, I wish it was probably a little bit more VR centric, but
it works in VR though. It's like, I think a lot of enhanced games were made really without VR in mind, weren't they?
It looks like a cheese dream, if I'm honest, but that could be good.
Yeah, it's very brain teasing. I will have
to find it. It's apparently playable on deck. Some in-game text is small, maybe difficult to read. Okay, fair enough. So it's still playable. That's nice.
Yeah.
What else has happened over the course of the last few weeks?
So one I was super excited for when he announced it and played that ahead of release. That was another Fisherman's Tale.
I need to poke a person about that because they were like, yeah, sure, we'll get you a key. And then I was like, I'm so busy, so I've not prodded them, but I kind of want to play it.
Yeah. A bit shorter than Tetris. Not Tetris, sorry, than Humanity. Longer than the first one. I can't remember how long it took me to get through it. I enjoyed it. It's a good sequel. I just felt like, in a way, the original one was so clever in design, it was going to be hard for them to top that for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like this one, you are controlling the fisherman, and you've got different hands you use basically to. So you might find a crab claw, put that on, then you can use that to cut a rope, or find a.
Okay.
You switch. It's basically round switching your hands around, or firing your head off onto so you get a different angle of a room, so you can figure out the puzzle, and then controlling your body while your head's off without the head on. So it's all around basically detaching parts of your body.
Yeah, and that sounds very much up my alley as well. So I mean,
Mhm.
it's a good time to be a puzzle head apparently.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it, but like I said, I just think the idea behind the first one with the puzzle inside of a puzzle inside of a puzzle was just
That was great. I
was
loved that.
going to be hard to beat in a with a feeling way, and I don't think it does it. It's a good game. I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's a good game. I recommend getting it. It just doesn't seem like there's um not much. It's like it's not as engaging as the first one because you had all the looking up and seeing him coming down, and that's
Just seeing yourself doing things to
yeah.
yourself.
So I was having a quick check because Ball said he's played the first level. It's testing. Got smushed by all life stuff, but my impression was a bit of annoyance when throwing the head. Even though I was careful, it would black out my view. Also had a problem with returning my hands unwanted. Yeah, I mean I played it on PlayStation, but it's like I believe it's like the grip button to return your hands. So obviously the index you're probably going to be returning your hands a lot by accident.
Yeah, it's something I'm slowly butting up against that as kind of a bit of an issue for me now. Like I knowing that I could mostly just plug in the Pico and have my grip buttons back, but also not be using Quest controllers. I very
Mm,
much kind of it's getting hard not to jump to that all the time these days. Although I did the other night when I played a game. Um, was it Dead Horizon? What was the game
yeah,
called?
Death Horizon.
Yeah, Death Horizon Reloaded.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that was an experience which doesn't seem to have aged overly well since the Quest release.
Because I was watching you
Um,
stream it and I thought it doesn't even look like it's visually massively improved compared to when playing it on the original Quest.
yeah, this so it's one of those that I you get the impression that they made the thing on a meta device on a Quest,
Mm-hmm.
and when you're trying to play it on the PC, like it was just constantly gripping at all times a lot. Um, and then on the index, I thought, right, screw it, I'm going to switch to the Pico. But then the Pico, it has bindings for it, but the gun, if you're holding your hand as if you're holding it normally, so you would be holding to point a gun,
Yeah.
the gun was pointed like 45 degrees up. So you had to tilt your hand at an unnatural angle forward to shoot forward. It was not the best experience for me.
Yeah.
So, like you're saying, between that and the fact that it's kind of not visually stunning, kind of just gave up on that game. It was just an
Yeah.
absolute travesty for me.
I mean, even look at the likes of um, Zombieland Double Tap.
Mm-hmm.
Or is that what it's called? That's the name of the movie, isn't it? Double Tap.
Yeah,
Headshot
I have
Fever. Zombieland
that.
Headshot Fever.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, they brought that to PlayStation, but they fully revamped what they'd done before. So it was sort of like I know they're a bit of a bigger studio probably than the one that made, but you'd think they would make some improvements. But to me, I was just like,
yeah.
it
Like
looks like
up the
the Quest.
textures or something.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was a disappointment to say the least. It was play that or play a different game, and I opted for that. And that was it. The other game I could have played was Firmament.
yeah,
I feel like I probably should have played Firmament. Although I've heard things from and around the community, mixed reviews on Firmament. A lot of people saying it doesn't like going above low
I think
on graphics.
it doesn't like the shadows going above low. And I think everyone just doesn't want that. And I'm thinking and saying hold off until they fix that performance
That's
wise.
basically one of my logic. Yeah, like the part of the logic was just like, let's give them a chance to patch it, and then I can play it as gloriously as it looks.
Yeah, like I played through that as well to review. 10 hours, 10 hours. Well, just over 9 hours to finish that off. I then ran through it when it came out, and luckily Doc came and told me they'd changed the embargo date because they hadn't told me for streaming it.
That was a fun 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I was just like, are you sure you want to put this stream out? Because you're technically not supposed to do it for another 3 hours. Yeah. But that was a mild miscommunication on that one. So I'm probably good.
I mean, I put my review out, so that was too late, but they did advise me the reviews were still okay to go out and just not live gameplay. They just hadn't got around to emailing me yet, and I was like, thank God Doc told me, because if I started, I wouldn't have looked at my emails. I would have just been...
Yeah.
Because I would have been inside VR, but I finished that second run through. I played through all of it on 2 streams, but because I knew the puzzles, even knowing the puzzles, it took me around 4 hours to get through it on over 2 streams, basically.
And I was staying away because, spoilers, but it did. I saw some of your screenshots after the fact. I was like, yeah, this is pretty dope. Like, I'm down for this. I want it. So yeah,
from
I could have played Feminine.
From one that's sort of like mixed for disappointment, because obviously people want to play it on looking as nice as it can. To me, even on medium and low settings, it still look beautiful. So I can only imagine what it will look like if once to fix all that issue.
So I'll probably get to that after Wanderer.
Yeah, and we had the surprise release, which was the biggest disappointment for me, like close to the end of PSVR, and it didn't change it when they did update for PlayStation VR 2, and that was the surprise release of Transformers Beyond Reality. Oh god.
I really wanted that to be good, but I also knew it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
I think was it 4 Head Games? I can't remember the name now.
Meta 4 or 4 Meta 4.
There you go.
Like that,
yeah. Not the best track record.
They asked me to review it on PlayStation VR 1 and sent me a code, and I played it, and then they messaged me, asked me when the review be ready, and I said, I don't think you want me to publish this, because like I've got nothing nice to say about it. Like,
yeah, I've sent that email.
I do like try to be honest with people, but I was like, when it's something like that, I like to also warn the developers, because
I would.
Some developers can be very If you're basically, I thought they might think it's slander.
Yeah, this is so. There are some people, and I get it. Like, you put your heart and soul into making your art, your game, and then somebody turns around and said this is bad. It's almost like they're insulting you, because this is your baby. You did your absolute best.
Yeah.
So I can get a dev being a bit precious with a game, but if you want to improve, if you want honest feedback from people, you have to let go of that preciousness and look at it objectively. And when you can do that, everybody is going to have a much better time.
I did say to them, I'm happy to send the feedback to them and the review to them, but if they don't want me to publish it, I won't. Take it more as this is your feedback, rather than. And then they contact me back and said, so they took my feedback on. Then they messaged me when it got the drop. Oh, it's dropped. It's a free update. Like, do you want to check out and play? You can check the PlayStation 2 version out and review it if you want. And then I reviewed it. I was like, hasn't really changed, but I've give you the chance already, so I'm just going to release it this time. I've give you the chance. It's an hour campaign. I basically give them the feedback, and I thought you've basically changed nothing. And
is it like an on-rail shooter? What is it?
Yeah, it's just on-rail shooter. They've sort of like taken a bit of blur off from the PlayStation VR version for the visuals, and that's basically
would have happened naturally.
The only difference I could see, and I thought I'll give you the chance. I'm just gonna publish the review this time. Get through the campaign on normal. I can't remember what levels is. Probably take you an hour and a bit, and you've had it. You've had enough before you get to the end of it. You don't want to play all of it, and it's only an hour long. It's like,
wow.
Yeah.
That's a bad time.
So in it, you don't actually play a transformer. You play a human in a exoskeleton. And then you do have the like Decepticons and Autobots battling around you, like in
I was gonna say you're like fighting alongside Optimus or
sections.
something, right?
Yeah, but the only problem is when they sometimes start fighting. So Optimus and oh my god, why is his name gone?
Megatron.
Megatron. I was going to call him Skeletor in my head then. I mean that's He-Man. That's a whole
That is
different
a
thing.
Transformers I would
That
totally watch.
yeah. So yeah, they start fighting, and then you see him like go against the wall, but then enemies are coming at you, so you've got to stop watching them fight. And I'm like, you've put these set pieces in, but you can't actually watch them because you're still playing. Like,
Yeah, the thing you want to do, you want to see gigantic robots fighting, but you can't because you're too busy trying not to die.
yeah,
Yeah, okay, like at least give me the like pause the action so I can watch that.
yeah,
Like Time Crisis did. Like it would do a thing and then it'd go action and then you would have to shoot things because the
yeah.
thing had finished. That's
And
some
then
constructive
fighting around
criticism.
you just basically made you want to be one. You know what I mean? I thought even at the end where you fight some of the Decepticons as the Exo person, it like just shooting parts of it. I thought even if it was just those parts, you'd jump because there's always like a Transformer and one of them fighting throughout. It's not like there's never they're ever on their own. So I'm like, even if you just got to the boss fight and you transform, like you moved into one of the Transformers for a boss fight, that'd give you more than just doing the same shooting, just picking on set parts of a vehicle to shoot. It's like I don't.
Yeah. I often wonder with games like that if there is an element of like game by committee. Like if somebody
Yeah,
went to them and said, "This is the game you are going to make. Go and make it."
yeah,
Or if they were like, "Oh yeah, we have the IP. Cool. We'll do the best we can." And they were like, "We know nothing about VR, so yeah, ship it."
yeah.
I I often wonder. I often wonder.
And it's one of the worst uses of the haptics in the controllers and headset I've ever seen. So if you've got like a pistol as your main weapon, as your primary weapon, and then you shoot power up, so you might get an automatic fire power up. Then you can choose a different class to have a different secondary power, like a shield, a minigun, or a sword. But if you pick the minigun and pick up the auto rifle, the auto thing, shooting them both together, the haptics feel exactly the same and the triggers feel exactly the same. I'm like, one's a minigun and one's a pistol.
Right. Okay.
And
Yeah. That's.
then the headset haptics only work if you hit. So you've got these massive transformers running past you, and you've got no headset haptics. You've got things along the path blowing up and firing rocks everywhere, and you get no headset haptics. I'm like, you've done absolutely nothing with the haptics.
Right.
So
I'm starting to figure out what this game is.
yeah,
This is them basically having access to new toys and then implementing them in the most basic of levels and then saying, "Here, you spend
yeah.
money on this." And that's not how you do it, man.
So
That is
with that
not how you
one,
do it. Put some time in.
so in my review I said if you're a massive fan of Transformers and you can get it for less than half price, it might be worth it for the fan service. But other than that, don't touch it. Never touch it.
Okay.
um. So that's my warning with that one.
Right, okay. Other notable games that I've seen recently, a Medieval came out.
That's one I've
Um,
not played. That one here.
I haven't played it either. It looks kind of dope. I did buy it because there was a massive launch deal, which
Yeah,
looked too good to pass up. So I did buy Medieval. So maybe the next podcast I'll be chatting about that. I don't know.
yeah. We got
Um,
Walkabout Mini Golf on PSVR.
oh yeah, of course. That the hole-in-one edition on
Yeah,
PSVR looked.
yeah,
I was so tempted to buy that one myself as well. It's just I've got that game on so many different marketplaces, and my DLC is splintered everywhere.
yeah.
And I just want one unified version. So I was like, all right, let's get a hole in one somewhere.
So
And then couldn't buy it on Steam.
I originally played it on the Quest, and then started playing it on
Mm-hmm.
Steam when it came out on Steam,
Mm-hmm.
and then stupidly, when one of the DLCs came out, I went, "Oh yes, I'll grab that DLC," and then realised I'd gone and bought it on the Quest store, not on Steam. But I brought like the rest of the DLC on Steam, and I was like, "Oh, quick!" And I went, "Oh, I've bought that on the Quest store. What am I doing?" So I went and bought it again on Steam.
So that's the thing. It's been a very expensive month for me, so I will be buying it on the PlayStation
Yeah.
soon. Just so I can get the hole-in-one edition because I own the base game on Steam. I can't buy the hole-in-one edition. It won't let me buy it. I
Mm.
could buy the DLC separately, and maybe it'll be cheaper. I don't know, but screw it. Let's just get it on PlayStation and call that like my unified.
Yeah. So Paul's saying a medieval, it's okay so far. I just get lost quickly and have to turn around a bit, but it seems fun. So that may be one I need to check out as well. And hey DDG, thanks for listening and driving. Don't remember what I always say, pay more attention to the road than this loony.
At the end of the road, turn left. In 400 yards, turn left. There we go. I've just sent them the wrong way home now.
And then
sorry, yeah.
What else was there? There's just been so much. I'm
There
trying
truly has,
trying to think what I'll push reviews out for.
There's been a bunch of games that also had updates as well.
Yep.
But then Propagation.
Propagation. That's the one, yeah. That's the one. Again.
Once again, not touched it. Probably too scared. Also looks a little bit too sneaky for my liking. But looks beautiful.
Yeah. I was going to mention that one actually when you were talking about the other one, the Death Horizon, because 13 said the zombies didn't look good enough for her. And I was going to say, Propagation, the zombies look good.
Yeah. Everything looked very, very pretty. I did like what I saw. I just don't know whether I would be... Because I jumped in on cold streaming it.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like he was constantly running for his life.
Yeah. So
I don't know if I want that.
When I was speaking to the team about it, they said they were looking to make it like a proper old school survival horror type. So your ammo is going to be very limited. So you've got to decide when to run and when to fight, basically. And I think Cole just stopped to fight everything at first, and I was thinking he's going to run out of ammo. But I thought I'm not going to tell him. I'm not going to tell him. I'll let him learn.
Okay.
When I was watching him, I thought I could tell him like stop wasting your ammo, and you could run past that one. But I was like, no, I'll let him learn, learn the hard way.
Right, because I'm the guy that does want to kill everything,
Yeah.
and I want it to stay dead too, which I believe is not an option.
No, they will become.
They come back.
They come back, yeah.
So once again, killing them it's more like just buying you some time to get past them.
Yeah. So what's interesting about it is you might kill one, you might walk past it a few more times, and then the third time you walk past it, it'll suddenly go, like, oh, whoa.
Yeah, that sounds horrible. In the best kind of way.
So here's one that I put a tweet out about because I found it very interesting that Hello Neighbor Search and Rescue, if you went on the PlayStation app now, you can't pre-order it. It just says it's announced and doesn't have a release date anymore. So I put a tweet out saying, are we going to get a delay announcement soon, do you think? Because this was like 2 days ago it went like that. But speaking to someone on the Discord, I think it was coming out on PlayStation VR 1 and they've delayed that version, but because it's sort of like linked on the store, it just messed up the PlayStation. So it will come out on PlayStation VR 2 tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
Still. It's just because they had to do something with the PlayStation VR 1 version, delay it till July or June. It's just sort of caught up on that and for some reason changed the one on the PS2 store, the PSVR 2 store as well. But that will definitely come out tomorrow.
Okay.
I can give our first impressions on it. I've played about an hour of it over today, and it's good. Enjoying it. In that hour, I feel like I've made absolutely no progression. But that's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's enjoyable. The only feedback I'm giving them when their feedback thing goes live tomorrow on Discord is there's only snap turning.
Okay.
Which it's playable, but I just want to give them the feedback. It might put experienced VR players off because the amount of times I think I'm just going to smooth turn and then suddenly I'm like turning backwards because I've kept my finger on the analog and it's got like 2 snap turns, like 45-degree turns and stuff. I'm like, it just doesn't have any settings apart from snap turn, so you can't even like decrease the amount you turn. So you always turn in just at the 45 degrees every time, which is very can be off-putting.
I guess turning physical play space is probably what they figure most experienced VR people
Yeah.
will do. But the people like me that just always face forward, that
Yeah.
would be mildly off-putting. I mean, I'm loving what I'm reading about this.
Mm-hmm.
The environmental puzzles require creative solutions, non-linear exploration, multiple playable characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, this all sounds totally like up my alley. 23 quid on Oculus, so probably about that on Steam as well and PlayStation. Yeah, I'm down for this. Like
So
in a big, I was worried it was going to be like just sneaky and
no, so on it you've
you know,
got like 5 characters, and they're all in different parts of the house. So you might knock a key down in one area of the house, but then you have to pick up the walkie-talkie and switch to the other character to go and get that key. And then they might need to pass it through a hole in the wall to switch to another character so they can take that key to the padlock. It's like just a mess of... Yeah, it's like I said, I've not figured any of them out yet. I've done it for an hour. I've found where the keys are. I just haven't figured out how to get them to the other characters yet.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
So there's 4 characters in the house and 1 in the tree house outside. So the one in the tree house is you can save your game from there. It does auto save, but you can manual save, and it's also got like a board that will give you clues on what you're looking for with each character and stuff. So it's like a clue board basically. So you can keep referring. Okay. So you can jump back to them and refer to that and go, actually, I'm meant to be trying to get a crowbar with this person. And then
is there multiplayer or is it?
It's just single player. I look
single player.
Yeah, just single player.
That's a shame because I like that would really. I guess there's not enough content. Like you would knock it out real quick if 4 or 5 people working on it. At the same time.
And I will say, like, you get panicky and butterflies when the neighbor sees you and you've got to run. Like I thought it can't be that bad. Like, but no, yeah. When I've run away from him, panic just sets in. I'm trying to find somewhere to hide, like looking around, like where do I hide? And this is sometimes where I realise about the snap turning, because normally I used to like just turning with the analog to look, and I kept like turning. And if you
maybe it's the mechanic.
If you don't see him coming for you, you will jump every time because he just grabs you, like spins you around, and he's right in your face.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, and I mean you've totally sold me on that game. Now I'm in. I really do want to kind of see what that's about. Also coming tomorrow as well on Meta devices is Everslot Invasion.
Mm-hmm.
I am quite looking forward to that one. It is 2-player. I'm gonna say. I think it's 2-player. It might even be 3. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I'd have to reach out to Fast Travel. But yeah, I did get to play that at EGX last, I want to say August.
Yeah.
Last year I played Everslot with Buck, and I kind of dug. I mean, I didn't. It was it went away from the Everslot that I knew and loved.
Mm-hmm.
Which was a little disappointing. I was hoping essentially just a quest port of the PC game. But for what I did play, I did enjoy, and they've had like almost a year to add to it since then. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that. I'm going to be playing that possibly even tomorrow as well.
I do think a shame with it as well is they seem to move away from developing the PC version when they started on the Quest one.
They did, yeah. Hopefully they're coming back to the PC version because it's early access still. It's not done. So hopefully now the Quest version is out that they will.
I'm hoping they don't do it in depth, and then just shut down the PC version.
Invasion is the only one that exists.
Yeah, they do all these updates to the Quest one and never touch the PC one since the Quest one came out.
Yeah, that game is so damn good now, though. Even better. It's
unbelievable. It's just a shame they didn't keep on the PC one as well.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna, if I'm in the middle of decorating right now. Like I have wallpaper. I may go down into my living room and all the wallpaper is just in a heap on the floor. So hopefully I can finish that like after this and tomorrow.
Yeah.
And have some free time to actually stream Everslot. So yeah, hopefully all being well. There's Cards and Tankards that's coming out and to a full release tomorrow as well. I've never really played it, but it sounds like I would quite like that. It just the problem with that game is that it's a multiplayer game, and I don't have friends.
When does Crimean Tales come out as well? 'Cause I think I don't know if that's tomorrow or
I'm
later.
in 25th, yeah. Mercenary Tales.
Yeah.
What is that one about? I saw the thing because that looked quite
It's
good.
made by
Extreme
Carbon.
violence.
It's made by Carbon Studios. Who made
Loosen
The
up the
Wizards.
arcade and quite bloody slasher that sets us apart from your typical physics-based VR title. Great deal of humor, Easter eggs, and pop culture references. Okay, I'm coming around to this in a big bad way. What kind of a game is it apart from splash your way through eerie castles, ancient temples, forsaken shipwrecks, special locations, experience visually captivating comic book graphics while being entertained by the mercenary humor of the tavern's patrons and their over-the-top achievements? But what kind of game is it? Is there a story? Do I just is it?
I think
Do you think this is basically just the what's the game everybody loves and I don't give two shits about? I mean, no, it doesn't narrow it down. So it's a sword fighter game.
Blade and Sorcery.
That's the one, yeah. Like, is it just another one of those, or is there actually something to do? Looks like there's actually something
I
to
think
do.
there's a story to it. I think.
Yeah.
I've never looked into it enough. I've seen it on a few videos of like coming soon videos and things.
Okay.
But yeah, that's
Yeah,
just some crazy releases.
Yeah, May is just insane. And then on top of all of these things, there's been a bunch of updates as well.
Yeah.
So there was an update to Drop Dead the Cabin, the Minds and Modes update. Pixel, not Pixel. Oh god, that's another game coming out. The why is that game just vanished from my brain? I was looking at it like 2 seconds ago. Pistol Whip. Got an update as well. Was that free? Can't remember.
I don't think they've charged for any, have they?
They did do some DLC, I think, because I was like,
yeah, they've done DLC
enough.
because they had story modes, didn't they? Like a Western one, a Cyberpunk one.
Some stuff for that.
I don't think they ever charged for any of it.
Oh, that's cool. I know I've certainly played a bunch of them, but I thought some of them were off limits to me. So yeah, I should probably jump in that just to see what it's like. Broken Edge got an update. They added a new fighter. That's another great dueling game from the Fast Travel Games camp. I don't know if they published it. I think they just published.
Yeah. Yeah, 13 said she's got all of the pistol whip things, never paid for any, so yeah.
Can't remember, had I played Eye of the Temple last time we were live? I think I did. I played Eye of the Temple in the back garden. That was so fun.
Oh yes, no, that was after the last episode. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was so fun to do, and it's having it portable on the Quest like that. You can, if you've got the space, you can give demos to everybody because that's the kind of thing you don't have to worry about VR legs as such because they're doing the walking, so their body will tell them their eyes is kind of right.
Yeah.
Now the problem you have to worry about, and even I came to this, is that every now and again I would almost lose my balance because I was walking on an uneven thing.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy. I thought there were no more wow moments left for me in VR. Having done VR for like a decade at this point, I thought I'd kind of seen it all. But that game is just so much fun. It's fantastic. I mean, you've got a pretty big space, right? Have you played it before? Or
never played it before. I do have it on Steam, but I've never played it before.
Yeah, I have it on Steam as well. And the idea, for the longest time, I was like, yeah, one day I'll just cast it to my back garden and I'll play in the back garden. And then the Quest release came out. I was like, I've put it off for so long because thinking of tech issues and how it could screw me over.
Yeah.
But now the game's native on the Quest. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm playing it now, and I don't regret a single second of it.
I think it's a crazy thing when a VR game can cause like inertia. Like it's weird because it's even like games you wouldn't expect it with, does it every now and then? I get it on Walkabout Mini Golf when I'm using the free locomotion.
Okay, yeah, no, you're just weird.
Like if I turn too quick, sometimes I'm like feel like I'm gonna fall over. I'm like, whoa, what's going on there?
Yeah, it's every now and again it will catch me off guard, but most of the time it was when my USB drivers were screwed up on the PC and I was getting terrible performance. That made me want to throw up and stuff like that. So yeah, but no, playing that in VR, playing that is the native Quest VR. It's like they should bundle that game with the Quest. They should just buy the game off of. I give up today. My brain is completely broken. Tell me the developer's name. Rune. They should buy the game off of Rune. Apparently, I've just got like a 5-minute delay. It's probably because I've not been sleeping because I've been busy doing other things. But yeah, they should just buy the game off Rune and just go nuts. Just put that on every single quest. That should be the U2 album of everybody's Oculus Quest. It's superb.
I think the first game I ever got inertia, our first experience inertia in was Resi 7 on. I tried to play it stood up, and when I actually fell, I tried to put my hand. When I lost my balance, I tried to put my hand on the wall in the game to stop myself.
That doesn't exist.
Yeah, luckily I didn't
I've
actually
never
fall.
Done that.
I didn't actually. I stumbled and I didn't actually fall over, but I was like, Jesus Christ, why didn't I like just try and put my hand on the wall?
Yeah, I cut my teeth on like crap VR.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, crap. It was amazing at the time, but like the DK2, it was crap. And so I think that kind of helps. I'm moderately immune to it
now.
Oh yeah, sorry. Game update. So Captain Toonhead has got a survival mode now. Very much looking forward to checking that one out. I need to play more Captain Toonhead in a big bad way.
I've never played. Again, it's one I've got, but then never played.
Oh, you should totally play Captain Toonhead. It's a wave-based shooter, tower defense. Like just off the bat, I'll tell you that straight up what it is. But it's just so fun and stylish, and I'm totally down to play that game like all the time. So yeah, that's got a survival mode now. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like in a real world situation. Puzzle in Place has got another update, which is kind of standard. It always just gets updates that you have to buy through Patreon or something. Rogue Ascent has come out in full release now. That was one of my okay. So don't buy Eye of the Temple, then buy Rogue Ascent, because it not only does it have great gameplay loop, but also it showcases hand tracking in one of the best ways I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, Rogue Ascent's that one, isn't it? I was thinking, which one was Rogue Ascent? That's the one with all hand tracking.
That is absolutely superb. Guardians Frontline got full release. Heard bad things, so never went back into it. But I'd say no. I say I heard bad things. People were expecting a bigger update than what it was.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. So I enjoyed it when we did play it, as broken as it was. And then they've added like mechs and ships and all kinds of stuff since. But I wouldn't mind playing it just to see for myself. I don't know whether you've played it since full release.
I haven't, no.
Or the Quest release. I don't know. I don't think it's still early access. But yeah, Frontlines. It might have gone 1.0. I can't remember. But
until last time I played it was when we played it on the Souls game night. That's the only time I've actually played it.
Yeah, I fell through the world like 5 times. It was brilliant. So I dug that game. I really did. What else is going on? Oh, have you seen anything on Car Detailing Simulator?
No.
It looks kind of like Power Wash Simulator, but aimed at like cars, I guess. Everything about my being is like, buy that game. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so fun. But most people don't seem to like it. Like it kind of missed. And then I looked on the PC because it seems to be just Quest native. I looked on the PC. There is a PC version of the game. Doesn't contain VR. Like it's it's Car Detailing. Wait, no, I might be thinking of a different game altogether. Didn't a new Power Wash game come out, or is that the same thing?
I think it got a Power Wash. It got an update.
I think 2 car detailing simulator. I feel like it's the car mechanic sim people. I think I'm probably wrong. And so you're cleaning cars in a very similar environment. I'm sure there's a power wash game that came out on the Quest as well. Game on. I know I've seen not GT, PD.
Yeah.
Playing a power wash game, and I feel like it's not power wash game on game. Well done, Doc. That's great. Yeah, I feel like there's another power wash game come out as well. Matt's played one, Power Wash Simulator on VR. Everybody's calling it Power Wash Simulator on VR. Nobody's actually calling it what it is.
You find that now, though, don't you? I think
on video.
I think it's crazy how many VR video comes out. Oh, it's this in VR, and you're just like, can it not
I'm as guilty.
Can it not just be its own game?
Oh, there was literally Pressure Washer. It's called Pressure Washer. It's £8 and it's a VR power washing game, which looks very close to. I mean, they're not wrong. The video that I watched of PD playing it, it looked like Pressure Washer Sim. So that one, it's currently got mixed reviews on the Quest. Four ratings is 3.5 stars. So yeah, it's got some positive-ish reviews there, but I kind of want to see it. So that's £8. I'll probably buy that, probably before the night's out. Yeah, so that's another game that came out. Like, there's just so many different games that's come out, and I've not even looked at my list of stuff that's to do. There's Rube Goldberg machine game that's come out, which looks very much like the Gadget game that looked pretty, like that was fun.
Yeah, Gadget.
Yeah, so there's so many different games that's come out. Survival Nation is one on my list, and yet for whatever reason, it's just completely bypassed me.
Yeah. My big worry now is what's next month going to feel like?
Probably playing catch up, so I'll not miss it. I think Windlands has finally been accepted onto the Oculus store, so nice work on that one, SciTech. Finally getting the recognition you deserve. There's a game called Practice Docking. Oh god. VRverse Cup Practice Docking. VRverse is launching 4-part series Virtual Docking Practice, designed in collaboration with Nautic Ed. That just, my god. They know that aside from putting a boat in a moor, docking is don't
search
Urban Dictionary that word.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I didn't. Perfect for fans of Ultra Wings or Ocean Rift. Nobody's a fan of those games, so that's fine. Actually, Ultra Wings, I hear good things. Yeah, just so many games, and then like you say, what is coming next month? Well, we may find out, because there are also a bunch of showcases coming up now as well, right?
Yep.
So yes, there's a Sony one in it's like an hour away, right?
Yep, this is why we started at an hour early tonight and the 8 o'clock start, because we wanna watch that. Well, I want to watch that.
the Sony showcase, and then on June 1st, Oculus. It's not an Oculus Connect. It's a gaming showcase, which I don't know. I predict it's going to be about 30 seconds long, and we're like, oh, we don't like gaming, and then they fucking end it. I don't get what Oculus's strategy is at the minute. I really don't.
Yeah.
Sorry, Meta.
I sort of picked up on that when someone was asking what's it. I think it might be Mac and VR. I'd put a tweet out saying what's everyone's view of this gaming showcase, and nothing against them. I just responded saying I refuse to get hyped by them, because there's so many good games they've promised that have either been cancelled or never been mentioned since the first thing, like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas VR.
So I heard that was announced before the ink was dry, and it was never actually a thing.
Splinter Cell VR,
So
which got cancelled. Assassin's Creed's gone eerily quiet. Like, all the games they announce, I'm like, oh, get in. You're just never
is
seeing
that an
them.
Ubisoft problem? I don't know. See, there's also there's a few other things that we should probably take into account here. So number one, Echo Arena is closed.
Yep.
Because Ready at Dawn are working on something else. Now, well, it's closing. It's closing. It's not closed yet. It's still. Wait, is it closed? I don't
think
know.
it's still live till, is it July,
Like
August, I
August,
think.
I think.
August,
Yeah.
maybe.
So I kind of expect to hear something from them
The only thing
on the
like,
first.
what gets me a lot is, since the last show, I finally got around to playing Lone Echo 2.
I
And
still didn't buy
from
it.
like start to finish, I've played it on stream start to finish. Over, I think it's over 3 or 4 streams. It was quite. I really enjoyed it, but then they say they're shutting it down because these are working on something. I'm like, but it's not PC VR. When you see what they do with Lone Echo, and you've just basically abandoned PC VR, you're like, whatever they're doing, I think it'll be good. Maybe they're going to bring Lone Echoes over to the Quest. Maybe this is what they're working on. But
Maybe. I mean, that's kind of where the money is. Like,
I understand
not
why they
everybody
do
can
it.
get a gaming PC, but
Yeah.
a lot of people can get a Quest.
I've always said I always understand why developers go that route, but it's when you play games like that, you play Half-Life Alyx, you play things, you can see what concentrating on PC VR can actually produce. And it's just a shame
definitely.
that the money's there, and like I said, I would never blame a dev for going for the Quest platform because that's the big user base. You're going to make money there, but it's just a shame that sometimes they don't just go, you know what, let's give these a bit of love.
Yeah. There's there's so much that they could potentially do, or it could be a completely new IP that they just announce and then show us little to nothing of. But I do think we're going to hear something from them on the first.
So I see from the trailer that there's obviously a little tiny announcement thing they released. It looks like there's some form of Asgard's Wrath thing coming out for the Quest,
Which is Sansaru
Sanzaru,
games?
yeah.
Yeah. Which it was a chunky game on the PC.
Yeah.
I feel like 64 gig quests, they're going to be like, sorry, just go buy a new one. Speaking of new quests, actually, do you think it's a gaming showcase? Do you think they will showcase their new gaming hardware? Or do you think that's Kinect?
I think that's going to be
It's probably going to be Kinect, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think this stuff be games.
Just everybody's talking about the Quest 3 like it's an officially announced, here's a bunch of stuff. Have I missed a thing, or am I?
I'm on the same thing as you. I'm like, you see it trending on Twitter, and I'm like, well, they haven't even said anything about it.
There's a picture going round of the rounded, thin thing with slashes in the front, and I'm like, this is an artist rendering. This is not a meta. Stop saying it's a fucking thing.
Yeah.
The Quest 3 might be just the Quest 2 in black with a bit more RAM. Like, it could suck. Stop getting your hopes up about the Quest 3. Don't get me wrong, I want the Quest 3 to be a thing, and I'm looking forward to finding out what it is and when it's coming. And the price, which, but I just don't. Stop talking about it like it's fucking real already. Let Meta announce a thing, then go nuts, then churn the hype wheel and sorry, rant over.
So we've, like I said, you got the PlayStation 1. They have said some VR stuff. PlayStation VR stuff is going to be announced at this PlayStation 1. Obviously, it's also a mix of PS5. They have said they're going to be some. There was a leak going out, but they've already turned around and said they ignore that leak because I think the leak said Ghost of Tsushima 2 was going to be a thing, and I think the vice president of Sony said we haven't even spoke about making that game, so like, don't believe this leak because like,
alright, fair enough.
We've never even spoken about it. I mean, it might be covering it up and trying to make people believe, like, but
I'm not a big fan of these leaks. Like, I just ignore all leaks anyway.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, until I hear it from the horse's mouth, I just don't care. Sod off. So I'm never gonna pay attention to any of the leaks.
So one thing I'm expecting at this for PSVR 2 is they're going to talk about the VR mode for Resi 4. The game is now out, so I can imagine that being a thing.
That's
finally give more
surely
information on
something
that.
they're going to like. Weren't people mostly speculating on the back of the last one where they were like, "We are working on Resident Evil VR content."
Yeah. And now they've
8
changed the
and
wording as
4.
content at the Capcom one they did. They changed the wording of content to VR mode, so everyone's now thinking it's just going to be like Village. You can play it in, but the only difference there is obviously the VR mode would have to go to first person, which the game.
Give me achievements and I will be happy.
Yeah. So I'm just hoping
trophies, Sony.
Just hoping that's one thing I expect to be there, even if it's just a bit more information, like a trailer for it.
Sure. A lot of people are talking like it's a done thing already, and still it's not. A lot of people are saying HLA.
Yeah.
So many people are like Half-Life Alyx on PlayStation.
Yeah.
They're pretty sure it's going to happen. Do we know how much Valve actually give a monkeys about people playing Half-Life Alyx? I mean, they did the orange box. They released a bunch of their PC games onto consoles. So it's not completely out of the realms of possibility that is a thing.
I think if they were going to give it to anyone, it would be Sony, because Sony are now giving their IPs, some of their IPs to Steam, like God of War and things like that.
Ooh, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe there was like a whiff of like, okay, yeah, you bring your stuff over here, and in return we'll put Half-Life Alyx on a PlayStation.
So I don't think they'd ever put it on any Oculus platform. There's a competitor in it. I've lost your mic, Doc.
Oh yeah, I didn't unmute it. That's why that happened. Yeah, if you want to play Half-Life Alyx using an Oculus device, play on the PC like everybody else. Like it's never going to go native Quest. It's just not possible.
They'd have to make too many cutbacks, and that game is not about cutbacks.
I don't think you could nuke that enough to get it onto a Quest. Although, I mean, I hear good things about Red Matter, but
I would like to see, like I said, it would be nice to see it go to another platform, just so people who don't have a PC can witness what it is.
Would you buy it again?
I didn't buy it the first time because I got it because I had the index, so I would be interested in trying it.
You've played it and experienced it. Would you buy the Apple a second time?
Probably, because it's that good. I like to see how the PlayStation handles it.
So tomorrow, tonight they announced, they say, right, PSVR 2, 70 quid, Half-Life Alyx. You know, it's coming out in October, because I think they like October. You paying 70 quid for Half-Life Alyx?
Probably not.
No. 50 quid?
50 quid probably. I'd pay 50 quid for it.
Okay. I probably wouldn't. I'd be tempted.
Yeah. I think I'd like to say I wouldn't, but then I know as soon if it's there in front of my face, I'll be like, I'm doing that.
When everyone is just like, Half-Life Alyx on PlayStation is dope, and you're just like, oh, I'm not playing it. FOMO's going to kick in and probably drive me to buy that game.
Yeah.
I've played it. I'm happy with what I played. I don't know if I need to go back again and again and again, but it would be fun.
Massive hope for me is Astrobot 2.
So this is what I was going to like. I think definitely that Vertical Robot could certainly show them a few things about their own hardware, but Astrobot is certainly something I wouldn't mind seeing.
Yeah.
From the PlayStation Showcase, because they don't like that was probably the best looking game on PSVR.
Yeah.
Was Astrobot. I was playing it on a bog basic PS4 and it looked as good as most PC games. It looked stunning, and that was a old headset to say the least. So yeah, I really do think that they could do great things with Astrobot, and I would.
And one thing you're guaranteed from that team as well. What they call team? How they called?
Asobi?
Asobi, yeah. They make all the demos to show off stuff that the hardware can do. So imagine them getting like, even if you get the Astro one with for the PlayStation 5 controller, that shows off all their features like the adaptive triggers. Getting them to do it using the headset haptics, using it just.
Yeah, it would be awesome. Like, even if it was a bit like, give us an update for that, so we can play the Astrobot.
Yeah.
Thing that comes with a PlayStation in VR, but then let us know that there's a thing coming as well. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So that's certainly one of the things I was going to sort of say I was going to hope for. Do you think we'll see some Ghostbusters today? It's a Sony property in the fact that Sony owned Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
So
it'd be nice. I think it'd be nice for Jimmy, so Buck stops messaging him.
That will never happen. That will never ever happen.
I was thinking when Buck said he was going to come down, if he knew, he would have maybe come down on when we were in Sheffield.
Yes.
I was thinking he's probably glad he didn't, because we would have played that Ghostbuster thingy, and then Buck would have been tuning his ear off all night.
Better or worse than yours, Jimmy?
Yeah.
I kind of wish we did get him down just purely to do that now.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe, and this is just insanity, let's start the rumor now. Maybe the thing that they're working on over at Ready at Dawn is a PlayStation port Alone Echo?
Oh, maybe.
You think?
Maybe. Because it's weird.
Quest and PlayStation. Like, they've got Vader Immortal on there. That's an Oculus.
Yeah, I'm going to say,
right?
when you play the new one, the Tales of the Galaxy Edge, it actually loads the Oculus Studios logo inside the headset when the game boots up. So they have got stuff there.
So that's a thought. Which, another thing, the creator of Beat Saber, I can't pronounce his name.
Yeah, Jav.
Yeah, that person left Beat Games.
Has he? Oh,
I believe they're certainly not the head of the studio anymore. And I'm sure I read in their post that they have flat out left Beat Games to go and pursue something new and fun, which is fine and brilliant. And that's I mean, they're probably a bazillionaire off of Beat Saber anyway, so it's fine.
So I think that's the issue with your developer game like that, where people just want constant content rolling out for it. Like, you won't be actually given the time to go and off do something else. The only way to do it is by leaving the studio, because they're just going to keep churning out content for Beat Saber.
Like, there's no point in a Beat Saber 2, because like, you don't want to change the core mechanic. So just leave it as it is, and just do it that way. But yeah, left the studio, so it makes me wonder what that's to do. But it also makes me wonder if we are going to see a Beat Saber announcement for the PlayStation, PSVR 2. PSVR 2 cannot play Beat Saber right now.
Yeah, and they have like which one was it last year? And they did announce that it is coming to PlayStation VR 2.
Not Scooby.
So maybe it might be more about that.
Yeah.
One thing I hope for every time Sony say they were going to mention anything about PlayStation VR 2 is, and if I could sell my soul to get it, I would. We need Killzone.
We're starting a campaign right now. Make Killzone VR a thing.
You can have my soul, Sony. Just make Killzone.
Who was that?
That was Guerrilla Games.
Really?
Yep.
I mean, off the back of Horizon, which
give it to Firesprite. Firesprite made the Horizon VR game.
Okay.
Obviously, with the assistance of Guerrilla, let them make it. Just give us a Killzone.
it's been a decade since a Killzone game came
Yeah,
out.
it came PlayStation 4 launch game was the last one.
Killzone Shadowfall,
Yeah,
November 15th, 2013.
yeah. Launch game on PSVR 4.
I think I own it too. Huh. I mean, it's a possibility. It is certainly a possibility that it could be a thing. Like November 15th, 2023, 10 years since the last time you played the game. Killzone. Or even a non-VR version, but
Yeah.
you've got to wonder
I want it in VR,
where
Sony.
it's gone.
If you want to announce it, you do it in VR.
Well, I will cross everything that's crossable for you. That is a thing.
I would like it. I don't think it'll happen, but it's like something I always just like try and do it.
I don't know whether there's any not so much precedence, but I don't know whether they have any prior experience. But so wish list, I guess for me. I mean, I already get Resident Evil in VR, so I don't need to wish for that. Probably Uncharted.
Uncharted, yeah.
That'd be nice to see the Uncharted world in a VR game.
I mean, because they could I know it's a completely different company, but they could control. The thing I've always thought with games like that is the climbing and the jumping, but then obviously we did it in Horizon. Even if they just did it similar, when you jump, you slow down, and you've got to make sure you grab that chain and climb up and
grappling
stuff.
hook. I mean, one of the things about Uncharted was that it was incredibly cinematic, and I don't know whether you can bring that to a VR game, but I would love to see them try.
Yeah.
But I don't think Naughty Dog have ever done anything VR, have they?
No. I would like also to see them. I mean, this won't happen because they're working on the Spider-Man 2 game, but I'd like to see Insomniac doing something in VR for Sony.
I don't want Insomniac to make a Spider-Man game.
No.
I want Cytec to do it.
Mm-hmm.
The rumor mill from Reddit, March 21, Naughty Dog is helping out an indie cat game. Now it's VR as well. PSVR controllers should be enough to play the VR games. Neil Druckmann confirms Naughty Dog working on multiple game projects. Okay. Yeah, so there's a couple of rumors that maybe they're working on a VR thing. So I don't know. Maybe touch wood. Hopefully, I don't want The Last of Us. If I do get anything, I want it to be Drake. I want it to be Uncharted.
Yeah.
Because The Last of Us will just be a sneaky game, and I don't
sneaky horror.
Yeah, I don't need that in my life. I really don't.
Oh, that's something else. Speaking of horror, we were talking about releases. Horror Bar VR comes out on the Quest tomorrow as well.
Horror Bar VR?
Yeah. It's like an old PC game where you make food and drinks for zombies and yeah.
Okay. So it's May is a crazy month, and I know there's more that we've not touched on.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that one just came to mind because we said the word horror. I was like, oh crap, yeah, that one as well.
Yeah, there's so much to do. So you think we're thinking maybe Beat Saber, PSVR 2 announcement,
Resi 4,
probably Resi 4. We were hoping for an Astrobot.
Yeah.
Do you think we're going to see more of the dreaded remake game that people are going to go crazy over, that you shoot people? Firewall. Do you think we're going to see anything more of that? I think they've been drip feeding their own crap out.
Yeah,
I don't know whether Sony really
gonna say they've been dropping their own out, haven't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they might give a release date for that.
I don't think they're going to devote a great deal of time to it, and anything they do, it's probably going to be. I don't know. Do you save new IPs for E3?
There's no E3. I'm gonna say E3's done now.
Going to be available, but
I said E3's completely gone now. It's not a thing anymore.
But yeah, I guess.
But they normally do they do like a November showcase. So they do like one of these in November, which is normally the bigger one, don't they, Sony?
Yeah.
Like another
So
showcase like this, but it's like an hour and a half. I know this one's going to
I
be an hour, but
can't see it being massive.
I think this one's going to
But
be an
especially
hour,
for
but
VR.
probably half an hour of it, 25 minutes, half an hour of it's probably going to be about Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
just the waffling, the flapping of gums. Yeah, probably then. Half-Life Alex, what like out of 10, what do you reckon the odds are? I think I probably was starting this conversation. I started at a 4. Then you saying with the Sony properties coming to Steam, it's like that's kind of actually, are they exclusively on Steam? I don't think they are.
No, they're on the Epic
No,
Store
they're
as
on
well.
Epic. So I
Yeah.
was thinking maybe they would
I was
do a little bit of
when you asked me
backroom.
for Scotland, I was thinking 4. When you said that, when you asked me, I was thinking probably about 4.
A lot of people are like, yeah, it's happening, and we're just like,
But to be fair,
shocking.
a lot of people are yeah, it's happening before the PlayStation VR came out. Like they're like, oh
True.
yeah, they're definitely going to announce it before it comes out. They're going to say we're getting Half-Life Alex.
Launch title, PSVR 2 launch title, Half-Life Alex. Didn't happen.
I think the problem is like it's a game that there's people that only use PlayStation VR, and I think they just hope that they're going to get all the best things from every platform on theirs, like the best of the best on theirs. Um, but yeah, I've had like again, I said it last when we were talking about it on the thing. Yeah, I'm still using the PlayStation VR a lot.
I dig it. Oh, you played Oregon Quarter.
Oh, did you know?
Oregon
Yeah,
Quarter.
yeah.
I remember that one.
That was another surprise drop.
Yeah. That better than Transformers?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
Um, it's just the again, this is another one where in the email when they sent me the code, oh, surprise drop, use a code, and from Amata Games, and I looked, and it was just their thing was it's meant to be an old school horror game, a survival horror game. They wanted to make it look like one, so you're not getting like top notch textures and stuff because they've tried to also keep that feel by giving you bland textures and stuff, which was the idea. I mean, it's been out on Steam for a long time, so I think they've seen Tales of Onagoro do okay on PlayStation. They've seen Last Labyrinth do okay on PlayStation, so maybe they just thought, let's just shut that one out. You can tell it was made a long time ago because there's no like picking up objects in the environment apart from the ones you need. So you
Okay.
can't pick up a book. If you click on the door, it fades to black and then puts you outside of it. It doesn't like let you open doors. Like if you'd want to go upstairs, you grab the handrail and it fades to black and then you're at the top of the stairs. So you can tell it's like
Yeah.
a really old VR game. They've decided let's do a surprise release on Sony's.
Speaking of games coming out tomorrow, Knock is also out on PSVR
Oh
2.
yeah, it is, isn't it? Jesus Christ.
So that's a thing.
Oh.
Grad 2 is coming out on the Pico Neo 4, although it doesn't say when.
Mm-hmm. It's a timed exclusive as well, that
Um,
one.
Also, there's rumors of a Hubris PSVR 2 launch this month.
Oh yeah, they said by the end of May, didn't they? But then
Yeah, they're kind of running out of time.
they've gone quiet on it.
So I mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if that happens.
So
So
the only other big showcase is the Upload VR one, and we do normally find a lot out on them ones, which I think's mad.
yes, that's the other. When's the Upload VR showcase? Is that one
I'm not.
July?
Yeah, June.
I'm sat on Google. Upload VR show 2023 summer. Vertigo Games. Interesting. I wonder what they're going to do. My Dearest. Lovely. Raw Fury. Wannadev. Okay, so we've got some names there. I don't know whether they're
Probably sponsors. I know they're normally a
sponsors.
few good sponsors for it, don't they?
June 2023 is the only date they've given so
Yeah.
far. So we've got this one tonight, June 1st for the Meta gaming showcase, and then the Upload VR showcase.
And then Apple's when people expecting them to talk about the VR headset.
Yeah, I was gonna. a lot of people went crazy over $3,000, which I get, because that's like a
Yeah.
lot. That's a gaming PC and the index to play on it.
Yeah.
So I get that. That is a lot. But I mean, we also have to remember that MP3 players were a thing, but the iPod made them everything. So, as VR supporters, I think we'd have a mild duty to say, okay, Apple, please release your wonderfully locked down and pointless headset, and let the Apple people buy it. Because if that's going to shoot VR into the limelight, I think $3,000 is going to put a lot of people off.
Yeah.
Apple are probably in the mindset of like, well, we charged like 1.5 for our phones, and this is better than a phone, so we need to price it accordingly. Which, when you think of it that way, yeah, 1,500 quid for a phone is a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, just maybe $3,000's not as insane as we all think it is. We should support Apple getting into the VR space. Don't know if I'm willing to support them 3,000 times, but
yes, I mean, you don't have to buy it, but I think it'd be wrong for people just to slag it off because it's Apple.
That's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
There are die-hard people out there that will run in front of traffic because it's Apple.
Yeah.
And then there are people out there that would not touch it even if it changed VR as we know it. They just wouldn't touch it. So yeah, that's totally a thing.
And then we've got then the upload one. It's just going to be crazy. We've got two ones that are going to focus on VR, like the Meta Showcase and the Upload Showcase, and we've got Sony one tonight where they said there is going to be stuff about VR. It's just...
Yeah, it's definitely a fun time. The PlayStation's certainly moving the industry forward, I think. It is definitely helping.
We got the that's something else that's happened since last one. We can now buy them in stores in the UK.
Yeah, they came out to buy in shops, which was insane to me that they didn't do it sooner.
Yeah. I was just thinking, did they think if they release them in through their store first, they've got a control over scalpers? Is the only thing I was thinking. Is that maybe what it is? They've got the control over scalping, because you could only buy one.
Yeah, I mean, it's all well and good doing that, but are people really going to scalp? Actually, no. Yeah, people were totally scalping PSVR 2.
Yeah, they were trying to sell. I can say they were trying to sell them on eBay when you could still order them through Sony. Yeah. I think I'd seen one on eBay where they were trying to get like 1,000 for it, and I thought you can still buy it from like the website for day release.
I know. That's the thing that always bugs me. Like the fact that it took people so long to buy a PS5.
Yeah.
Like it was maybe a year, 18 months before you could mildly easily acquire a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
That's insane. So I get the desire to not have that be a thing.
That's the only reason I could think. It might not be the reason, but that's the only reason I could think. Why would they do it? Because obviously there was a lot of complaints around the console scalping. So maybe it's like we've got full control of it. The first batch, we've got full control of the first batch. Never mind what.
But I mean, wouldn't that just drive more people to scalp? Like, people don't want to buy from the Sony website for reasons I can't figure out. But they will go on eBay and overpay for it.
Yeah.
Maybe they think, oh, I can't get it in stores. It's sold out. I must buy it on eBay for a crazy amount of money.
Yeah.
Maybe they drove people to scalpers because they couldn't go into a shop and buy it.
Like I pre-ordered my PlayStation in the beginning of January, because I was waiting for them to come out in stores. I thought as soon as like one of the stores put the pre-orders on, and I got to January and I thought I should look into this. And I seen that they were only going to be selling them on the website, and I was like, oh, I better go and pre-order one on there then.
And yet, I think in Canada they actually sold them on Amazon.
Yeah.
Sure, Zim got his off Amazon.
In Ireland, Sony wouldn't ship to Ireland, so they were sold in GameStop in Ireland.
Okay.
Because
weird.
I was confused at first because someone put on the Twitter that GameStop had cancelled the pre-order. Like they got an email saying, and I was like, I'm sure you're from like UK. And then a message me was from Northern Ireland, which is it Northern Ireland? I'm part of the UK. I'm part of. I don't know which side it is. Well,
yeah.
Sorry if there's any Irish people, because I know it's a sore subject, but whichever one's not in the UK, basically, you couldn't get them through Sony, so they have to so they were selling them through GameStop in that country.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So when I put out, I was like, "Didn't you order it from Sony? I thought we could only order it from Sony." And he explained, like,
yeah, Sony don't ship here. I had to do this thing.
And then he rang GameStop and they said the emails had gone out in error and it hadn't been cancelled and all the pre-orders were still on.
Oh, so, yeah. Happy endings.
Yeah.
Mostly. Kind of.
So yeah. It was
Northern Ireland is the UK apparently. Southern Ireland had to buy it from GameStop.
That's the only reason I could think in my head of why it would be that way around. Maybe it wasn't.
Yeah, maybe. And there's a whole supply and demand thing, and by doing that, they knew the demand, so they could make the supply.
And they've Sony have sort of come round and stuck the two fingers up at all these reports it was selling badly, because they're saying like, it sold, was it 600,000 or 60,000 or 600,000, which is actually selling better than the PlayStation VR 1 at the same point. So they were sort of, I think it was sort of we're not doing that.
Just like, yeah, stop all this bullshit. Speaking actually of new headsets, did you have the BPVR last time we did a podcast?
Yes.
You did.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
We covered that?
Yeah.
Oh, that saves us 20 minutes then.
Yeah, we spoke about it on there. To be fair.
Oh, yeah. No, because I was thinking we chatted about it when you came.
Yeah.
I was like, is that the first chance I had to grill you about the headset?
To be fair, they've been pushing firmware updates to it and it's seen improvements, which it's basically, I actually use it. This is when I put the Vive on now, is when I'm want to play B and they also want to track my face. Other than that, I'm just...
Couldn't you technically shoehorn the... I mean, it's not going to do the eyes. You could technically shoehorn the mouth tracker onto it.
Yeah, I just need
anything.
Yeah, you just need to make a mount for it, because the facial track's not even plugged into the Vive headset anymore, into this USB. It's on a long USB cable into the back of the PC, because it gets a better connection rather than trying to power through the headset. So
it's probably very possible to do then.
That's what I mean. It's just been making a mount. It's got clips on that plug into the underneath of a Vive headset, so the Vive's got holes at the bottom, so it's like clips into them. But
how do you aim it at your mouth though?
People just make out, so it's just hanging down in front of the headset.
Okay. Yeah, that's totally.
That's what I mean. People just make mounts. Like people use them on the Index, people use them on Pimax, people use them on the. You can just 3D print a mount. And obviously, the mount would definitely be made for this one.
Yeah, that would be very achievable, I think.
But they are taking a lot of feedback as well on their Discord, so I've told them they need to make knuckle controller grips like the Quest has, like Kiwi do,
or at least farm it out to Kiwi.
Yeah, well, they actually said, because I put a picture on, and then they were like, oh yeah, those do seem like a good idea. We would probably get a different company to manufacture for them, and I was like, well, these ones are Kiwi designs and they're perfect. So they're like, thank you for the information. So
yeah, the knuckle grips I got for the Pico 4, they're fine, but they're not great. Wait, you tried the Pico 4?
Oh, I
How
did,
did
yeah.
you
Sorry,
find
yeah.
it?
I was thinking, I tried the Pico 4, really enjoyed it. Like the form factor of it, the visuals on it, fantastic,
Hmm.
comfortable.
Yeah, it would be lovely to give you a proper. I mean, a proper demo is going to happen over a period of months, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I should have sent you away with it and then claimed it back in
Mm.
June, July.
July.
Crap, July.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have sent you back home with it and then claimed it back then.
So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Obviously also tried the Wooja. Now,
Yes, yes.
I've always been a big haptics person, like because that's what I had. So I never got around to buying the Wooja because I didn't really use my Wii haptics a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, this is one thing that put me off buying the Wooja. So I thought I've got the Wii haptics, which I don't really use anyway. But from trying that, I mean, I told you why we were there. It does better transform, like changing the audio into vibrations than the Wii haptics does. Wii haptics has got good for native games, so you can feel where you're getting hit and stuff like that. But if you want to play a game that's not native, it's not very good. But playing that,
Okay,
I was like, it by far, like 150% better than what Haptics can do. For
I've always been curious. But even without trying the B haptics, I probably always would have said if it has native support, go with the B haptics. If it doesn't
yeah,
have native support, then go Wooja every time.
yeah,
Um, but I've still never tried the B haptics. I probably never really will, not properly.
you
I
will
mostly all I want to do is put the thing on and just get shot.
come into. We'll
That's
do it in
pretty
July.
much it.
We'll do it in July.
Yes, yeah. That's mostly what I want to do. I just want to put it on and get shot because that's the only. It's like the index controllers to me.
Yeah.
Once you've flipped a friend off or done the devil horns,
hmm
um, they have no use anymore.
Yeah, this is what I find with the index is I'll just say when a new game comes out, I'll open it and go, oh, it does have finger tracking, and then I never think about it again. It's just
Yeah,
like I
that
went,
sounds about
oh,
right.
it does have finger tracking, and then never ever touch it again.
Right. Well, 9 o'clock is bearing down on us,
Yeah,
and I put a call out for questions.
we've got a
So
few
we should probably smash them out, and then everybody can get the popcorn ready for
ready
the
for the
PlayStation
Sony.
showcase
Yes.
thing. So question: hypothetically, you want to make a VR game as a duo. What type of game are you gonna make?
Jesus. I think
Um,
I think putting our collective minds together, we could probably make an okay escape room type game.
I would totally dig an escape room. Yeah, you know, I dig escape rooms.
Yeah.
Um,
I like the multiplayer ones we played. It's not one
yeah,
I wouldn't normally jump into one single player, but
no.
the ones like First Escape and things like that we played, I did like those.
And the great news is that On School have already properly lowered the bar, so it'd be pretty easy to match them at least. Um, I should not be able to walk through a locked door in a fucking escape game. I shouldn't. Just put your face through, push forward on the stick, and then you're through. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Sorry, On School. You're doing great things. Yeah. So I would absolutely love an escape game. As crazy as this sounds, I don't dislike third person in VR. I don't dislike it at
I
all.
know,
So
I
like your
don't.
Astrobots and your
Yeah.
Vex and stuff. Yeah, I'm not against that. So my thought is I would kind of like a Batman Arkham game.
Yeah.
That could totally be an escape room, no less, or
hmm
escape room elements. Yeah, I would love like a Batman Arkham game, even if it's third person. I mean, we got a first person Batman game and it's fine. But yeah, I would love Rocksteady to come back
Yeah.
and make that game.
That would be So next one,
Maybe I
what company would you
misunderstood the question.
what company would you like to get into VR?
Hardware or software?
That's what I was thinking.
We'll answer both. So hardware wise, I was about to say something. I was like, no, they already kind of did a VR thing. Well, what about no? They already kind of did a VR thing. Well, then there's no. They already did a VR
I
thing.
would like Microsoft to put some effort in on it.
God, yeah, the mixed reality headsets are
Uh,
questionable at best, and they're not even Microsoft.
yeah.
The other people.
Yeah.
They're the people. The LGs, the Lenovo's, the
Yeah. Acer.
Samsungs. I would like Samsung to take it a bit more seriously in the sense of
Yeah.
stop with the WMR and just either make your own or just
Yeah.
piggyback off of somebody else's.
Yeah.
I would really love them to do a real like college try at actually doing a headset that's usable for everybody. The WMR space may be totally fine. I've often threatened it, never actually taken the plunge.
Hmm.
It might be fine, but I would love Samsung to actually take a good hard swing at VR.
Yeah.
Game dev wise,
I mean, we've had to mention a Naughty Dog.
I did, yeah. So that was another that was where my head went. The other one was so I know there was a thing on the PS4 for Final Fantasy in VR, I'm sure.
There was a fishing
And
thing.
oh yeah, that's one of the games that I bought and then never did anything with. So I'm pretty sure, and the Tomb Raider games as well, there's like a whiff of VR in one of them.
Yeah.
So I would love for them to take a venture into VR a bit more seriously. I believe they're also responsible for Power Wash Simulator.
Mm.
That totally needs to be a thing.
Yeah, it does.
So, I mean, apparently it is for £8. I don't know how great or how much content it's going to have. I want the full-on Power Wash Simulator in VR. I think that's what I want.
It's on the back of Microsoft taking the plunge ballers. Bloody Halo VR. God, gosh damn it. That's what we need. We do. That's one reason Microsoft up there for me. I want them to actually do a Halo thing. Not like the free one they did for Windows Mixed Reality, which was shooting holographic enemies like a target range.
So, yeah, I nearly bought a WMR headset purely for that.
I did.
And didn't. That said, I've only played like 3-4 Halo games. There's now like 20. So I should play 4 and 5, but now I'm that far removed from 3 that I was like, I need to play 3. And then I thought, let's just play them all. So I do need to play those games, but yeah.
So next one by 13, one back on the back of you guys doing Ghostbusters experience thingy. What else would you like in that type of setting?
Like a movie adaptation kind of thing, or
just I don't know if we just something that's going to work in like a VR arcade in that big setting.
Oh, like a VR arcade thing. Well, yeah. There's many different. I know they exist, but I want to do the weirder stuff, like the fake parachuting and stuff.
Yeah.
That I want to try that. I think there's one in Manchester, and I do kind of want to try that.
So one thing I found really interesting is that one of the res, I actually spoke to the dev about it. We were talking about inertia and stuff in VR. It was at EGX Res, and they'd basically taken a bungee jump simulator. And I was like, are you sure this is a good thing to put people in for the first time? You were like bungee jumping off the Statue of Liberty. And I was like, are you sure you want to put this in VR? Like, people in this for the first time? I mean, I had a go on it, and again, like, it's not often I do get inertia, but I did on that. I felt like when I went down, my legs were just going to go from underneath me. And I thought, people doing this for the first time, like, never been in VR doing this. They were making you sign, like, disclaimers and stuff, and I thought, so you know there's a chance someone's going to fall over.
Yeah, that's a commitment, I guess, yeah. Probably wouldn't overly recommend that, but yeah, that's a thing, I suppose. What about you? What about location-based VR then? Is there anything I've done quite a few of them now. There is still the Far Cry one I want to do.
Yeah.
But I was thinking also about peripherals with it as well. But yeah, I do want to do the Far Cry one in Meat Space and wherever we end up doing that.
Yeah, a location-based one.
Um,
I think.
What's name your franchise?
On the back of my slagging off earlier, I did say my Transformers review. It seems like something that would work great in a VR arcade.
I think that's how they got their start, right?
It's like
they made the Transformers game for VR arcades and then ported something similar to consoles.
Because like the big set pieces and stuff, even if you're not controlling them, would work so well in arcades.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing I thought about that. Is it one that I'd want? Probably not. So that was
one
a bit
day
of a,
I'm going back and trying that Rabbids roller coaster thing.
That was a bit of a non-answer because I probably wouldn't want a Transformers thing in there. To be fair, I just feel like that would have suited it.
The Viva Lost Vengeance was pretty dope, and that could have been literally anything: Terminators, Transformers,
yeah,
you name it. It didn't have to be zombies, so that kind of thing is absolutely possible.
I don't think it like how it would work in an arcade because a lot of the arcades are normally multiplayer, obviously because they want you to do it. But I can imagine like I'd love a John Wick, but you'd have to be like a single player thing because.
I mean, Pistol Whip exists.
Yeah.
And wait, isn't there a John Wick VR game?
There's a John Wick VR game, yeah. It only works with Vive ones.
Yeah.
So play at your peril.
Yeah, I think I downloaded it and then tried to play it in Oculus.
You only had one hand. You only get one hand, and it's the hand that doesn't have the movement to stick on. So you're pretty much knackered. And
right, okay.
That's the problem I had. And I've got Vive ones, but I didn't want to put myself through it.
I keep threatening to. I really should set the Cosmos up and see what the deal is.
So I think that is all the questions and a good place to end. Ready for the showcase starting in 4 minutes.
Yeah, I've not even eaten dinner yet. I might just skip it today. I don't know. We'll see. Well, thank you everybody for popping by and joining us this evening. Yep. Thank you, Mr. Paul, once again for having me on this adventure with you.
No problem. We didn't really need to think about topics because there was so many games.
And there's so much we didn't touch on as well. That's the crazy thing.
So we didn't really actually think of topics this week because there was just loads of games coming out, showcases coming up.
Yeah, an insane amount. So next time we'll talk about the PSVR showcase and how right or wrong or disappointed or elated we were. And I'll leave it to you to get us the hell out of here.
So thank you for everyone who's joined in the chat. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for the comments and thank you for tuning in. Like we said, we'll be back next month. We'll pick a day. The VRverse has got a Twitter, which I never ever promote. I do normally put a tweet out there on the day we're going to go live and say we're going live at this time today. So make sure to follow over there. And make sure to check us all out on our socials underneath our boxes, social things there. Well, thank you for everyone, and thank you for the cheers, Doc. I can see them.
I want 50%.
I didn't even turn on stream labels, so it's not even going to update on there. But anyway, thank you for everyone. Thank you for everyone who's joined. Thank you for the cheers at the end, Ball and Doc, and thank you for the moderators, Ball and 13, for being here along the way. And until next time, next week, month. Bye for now. Oh, you're gonna have to hear me lift my headset up for a bit. I'll try and make it look like I'm looking at you and stick my tongue out.
I thought you were talking to me, but oh my god, I'm watching the stream back. That is nightmare fuel or porn.